Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rex here with Carpentry Plus. We've got a set of built-in bookshelves working their way through the shop. We thought we'd take a couple minutes to show you our process for attaching our shelf facing to our shelves. So as with many woodworking, different aspects of woodworking, there are many different ways to attach this piece. You can simply glue and clamp it, glue and brads. Those are okay, but they're not as strong as they could be. So other ways that we've done here in this shop is we've used biscuits, and we've also done a tongue and groove. But the method we like the most is to use a modified tongue and groove and do 2 grooves in each workpiece, and then attach those with a spline. Now what I like about this is it makes sure it's one setup at the router. So you got your slot cutter bit in the router, you run each piece through that same setup. That ensures that those 2 grooves are perfectly aligned, and then you can cut your spline to fit the groove. We have all kinds of scrap up here on the wall, and so we're not cutting fresh boards to get those splines. We got a few pieces up here we can run through the planer, get them dialed in, and it's pretty quick and easy. And we'll show you the process. Here you can see the slot cutting bit installed in the router table with a piece of scrap MDF for reference. We'll start here by cutting the groove in our shelf pieces. Okay, now that we've got the groove cut on all of our shelf pieces, we'll move on to the shelf facings. Same process, you don't have to change anything. Just run these boards right through the router. Here you can see the 2 grooves lining up nicely. Now it's time to cut the splines to fit. We use our digital caliper here to measure the thickness, 7/32, and the width, 49/64. So that'll give us a little bit of wiggle room here when we make our splines. All right, so we got our splines cut and then ran through the thickness planer. We'll double check them here. So this is 13/64, so that gives us a 1/64 of an inch wiggle room, which is about perfect. And that's about right at 3/4. So that gives us about a 1/64. A little bit of wiggle room, gives us room for glue and all that good stuff. So one last thing before I cut these to length, I'm gonna check them over here just to make sure they're gonna work. Go ahead and take a piece. Fits pretty good. It's actually fairly snug. So we'll go ahead and cut them to length. and be ready to put them together. Okay, at this point we have all of our parts cut, all of our grooves cut, and our splines made up, and we are ready to assemble. Pretty straightforward. We're going to apply glue in the grooves, insert our spline, and put the pieces together. Apply a little bit of glue to the side of the groove. Brush that around a little. Go ahead and get the spline in. And I like to make sure we have full glue squeeze out on that seam. Go ahead and apply a bead there. All right, now our face piece. Ready to put them together. That. We'll clean up our excess glue. Check that seam. We got full glue squeeze out there, so once that's dry and sanded, that seam should be pretty well visible. Okay, now that we have the initial sanding complete, you can see how nice that's looking there. We'll come back over to the miter saw and trim up these edges. We've got them all pretty close, but we've left them a little bit long, so we have some room to clean those up. So we'll start off by buzzing one end and then sliding down to a stop block, cleaning up the other end. second. See how clean that is? See our spline in there, blends right in with that other piece of poplar, but otherwise, that's it. So we'll probably ease these edges and we'll call these done. All right, so there you have it. That's our process for adding the reinforcement for our nosing on our shelves using the splines. And hope maybe you found it useful, and thank you for watching.